Hi, I'm Jenna, and this is episode 68 or 69, I think. I'll have to check. Lots going on, lots and lots and lots. First off, a big thank you for all the returning viewers, all the new viewers, and those of you who have joined the group and participate in the group. I always want to say thank you because it's so important. Next, we're on to knit-alongs. I want to cover that. First up, we have the Sam the Super Frog knit-along, and I had one over here. Somebody must have carried it away. Anyways, Sam the Super Frog. Today is the 29th, I believe. That sounds right. So you just have a couple more days. So I'm going to lock the thread on the 31st at midnight or June 1st sometime in the morning. So it depends if I can stay up that late, because sometimes I'm just like, oh, tired. And then we have another knit-along going on that is, well, I guess it's a knit-along, crochet-along, but you have to felt it. So it's a felt-along. So, like I said, it can be knit, it can be crocheted, it can be previously started as long as it's not already felted. That's fine. You still have a whole nother month, so get those in. The prizes. Quick for the Sam the Super Frog knit along. One prize is a bag from Knitting's My Bag. This is the small size, but of course there's nothing small about it, and it has the Lorax. And then the other prize was a skein of Sun Valley fibers. It is 80% merino, 20% nylon sock in the Kermit colorway. The bag was donated by Lois of Knitting's My Bag, and the yarn was donated by Jeanette of Sun Valley Fibers. So huge thank you for donating for the knit-alongs, because it's because of awesome donations that I can keep the knit-alongs going. And then for the felt-along is another Knitting's My Bag bag. This is also a size small with the little woodland creatures. Like I said, nothing small about these bags. Lois's bags are awesome. This is donated by me, and then there is also a skein of yarn on its way to me as I speak from Kimberly, who's Sock Bunny of Sock Bunny Studios. So, yay! Awesome prizes. Thank you everybody who's donated. I really appreciate it. Ooh, okay. I have finished objects! I was so excited. So, I got some felt over the weekend because I could not find my felt. And I finished my little hoot bag. So, it was knit out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, the worsted weight, in avocado and orange. And I held the yarn double, just as the pattern calls for. And I just used the size needles the pattern calls for, which I think were 11s. Not 100% sure, but it is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's a cute little bag. It opens up. So I finally got the little face on it, and I just love it. It came out so cute. And I think the pattern, they give it like little eyelashes, and I didn't do that. Because, I don't know, I didn't want eyelashes, I guess. So it also called for the only moderation that I made on it is that the beak was supposed to be knit. Now you didn't felt the beak, you just knit, garter stitch a little triangle and stitched it on. I didn't really feel that it looked right on it. I think that you either should have knitted a beak and felted it and then sewn it on, or as I did, I just got a little piece of like gold colored felt. I guess is what they call gold, not like shiny like gold like the metal, but like a goldenrod. And then big buttons. So yay! I love it. It's so cute. My other finished object is my little adipose. So this is adipose number 4, knit out of the Knit Picks in the Bear, and it is a DK, because it's what I had in my stash. So, I'm like, yay! This pattern was also free as well. If you go on Ravelry, it says it's unavailable, because I get questions about it every so often. If you look in the comments for the unavailable adipose pattern, somebody put a link of where you can print off a copy. So, it's so squishy. I love toys. I love toys so very, very much. Okay, works in progress. Now, this would have been a finished object. This is a works in progress from, it's over a year old. And I was just trying to get it off the needles. Because at this point, I'm running out of cables for my interchangeable needles. And I guess Knit Picks have, since the last time I bought cables, have changed them. They're now more plasticky and thicker, and just lots of people have complained about them. And I love the ones I have. They're super flexible. I only use Knit Picks Harmonies because I really like the wood needles. So it is my Spring Awakening, which was a knit-along project from last year, from last spring, I believe. I think it was a knit-along. I can't remember, but I think I had like 3 different shawls you could pick from, and this was one of them. And I ended up knitting the other 2, and then I got around to this one, and then kind of got a little shawled out. So, it is Spring Awakening by Paulina P. And the yarn is Cascade Heritage. The yellow is Butter, and then the gray is just gray. Real creative there. So you can see this is worked from the bottom up, and then it has this real pretty like little floral motif in the lace. And then I decided to do, there's 2 different ways to do the top, and I decided to do the short row way because I think it was supposed to use less yarn. So the last time I worked on this, I think I was like about here. So I've gone from about here all the way here in the last week. Because I've worked on this a ton. In the car, places that we go, I've worked on it and worked on it. And I still have to work back and forth doing short rows. Only going a few stitches every time. I can't say how many stitches because that might be giving too much to the pattern away. But I still have like this far to go on each side. Like, that's a lot. It's just a lot. And this is all the yarn I have left. Like, barely anything. So, I'm gonna probably have to order another skein of yarn because I just don't have enough. And I really don't want to order another skein because I won't use very much of it. And gray is not normally a color I like to use a lot of. But last year I was on this whole yellow and gray kick, and I wanted to make everything yellow and gray. And there was one of the samples for the pattern, for this pattern, is kind of like this color yellow, and instead of a gray, it's almost like a taupey color, like a grayish brown. And it's gorgeous, and it looks gorgeous on the girl who's wearing it, and I was like, oh, I want to do that, but more gray. And according to the pattern, 1 skein of the gray should have been enough. But obviously, either I'm knitting too loose, and I didn't do a gauge swatch because it's a shawl. I never do gauge swatches for shawls, unless if I'm super, super concerned about yardage. But it's going to be huge. Like, I wish I could show you. I mean, it's kind of scrunched up on the needle. I believe it is a 40-inch needle. But it's going to be really big. But I really like working with the Cascade Heritage yarn. It's a very soft yarn. I made my color affection out of Cascade Heritage. And it's really affordable. It's like $12 for a skein, a 100-gram skein. I think it's about 400 yards. So that would have been done if I would have had enough yarn. So then my other works in progress, because I needed something else to work on, and it's always good to have socks on the needles, so I am making a new pair of rainbow socks. So I'm probably just going to do an afterthought heel sock, because I've made a pair of socks in this rainbow colorway before, and I love it. It's Knit Picks Felici in rainbow, that's what it's called. And I did a gusset heel, and the only problem is when I get down to where it's time to put the heel flap in, I think it ended with yellow. So then the heel had all the green and blue, and when I started back in, it went to purple. And I was like, my rainbow looks off because it jumps a couple colors. So I think I'm going to do afterthought heel just so I can keep the whole foot of the sock in a rainbow. So I just started these. So I have the little cuff and then onto the leg done. I'm just starting to hit the green. And then I always start my socks at the same time and do everything I can so the stripes will match up. So I started the other one and I just have the cuff, the little red cuff. So when I get the leg of that one done, I'll then go to this one, do the leg, and then put the scrap yarn in on one, put the scrap yarn in on the other, so on and so forth. And that way I never just have one sock, and that way I can always kind of control and make sure the lines of the stripes always match up. Because I like matchy-matchy socks. Whew. I have no yarny goodness this week. No yarn has come. I have no yarn on its way. I do need to order, like I said, that one skein of Cascade so I can finish that. I have gotten some spinning done. I left the bobbin on the wheel because it's just not very exciting, and it's more of a pain to take off right now. But I am spinning a loop bump. It's called Strawberry Patch, and it's all merino. So there's no sparkles or anything. I mean, I like sparkles, just not all the time. So in the middle, I started off with a green, and it was like green, like traditional Crayola crayon green. It then moved on to this hot pink, and I don't know, it kind of feels like this hot pink's just going on forever now. It's still got a ways to go with it, and then it hits like a navy blue, an olive green, and this real pretty burgundy. So that is what's on the bobbin. Now I do have some fiber stash because over the weekend I went to the Great Lakes Fiber Show. It's in Worcester, Ohio. And my husband ended up going with me, and we had a really great time. There's lots of stuff there, lots of local stuff. They have everything. I mean, yarn and wool and spindles and shawl pins and, I mean, just everything. So diverse of a group of items. So I was trying to be really good, and you know, I always say I'm going to go and walk once through, and then, yeah, that never happens to me, ever. So I did get to meet up with some people. I saw Annie, who is Trainer Girl 15, and then I saw Straight Fork, who is Kathy of Straight Fork Farms, who was vending there. And then I totally had a fangirl moment with Kimber of Fiber Optic. So I was like specifically looking for Kimber because I wanted to buy this. I specifically went looking for this. I'll take it out of the package in case there's a glare. But it is one of her gradients. It's Tangerine to Ultraviolet. And this year I was waiting for the pre-order because twice a month she has pre-orders for the gradients. And this one got bumped this year. So it was like on rest. And so I knew this is what I wanted. I really had been wanting one of these. So it goes from this bright tangerine into this really nice flame red into like a burgundy and then a plum and then like a violet. It is so pretty. Ah! And it's it's uncoiling on me. So I went in and I was all like, "Hi, Kimber." Like totally just, you know, fangirl moment. And I introduced myself and I told her who I was and who I was on Ravelry. I was like, "Oh, and I'm RetroLem." She's like, "Oh, I know RetroLem." I'm like, right? Like totally kind of geeking. Like if I could have squeed, I totally would have. But I'm trying to keep it cool because, you know, she's a person just like everybody else. And so I was wearing my vitamin D because last year when I went to the fiber show, it was like 92 degrees and humid and miserable. This year it was like 62 instead, and it was beautiful, and everyone's out wearing their hand-knit sweaters, and some people were wearing scarves and cowls and hats, and it was awesome. Like, it makes the experience, I think, better when you see people in their hand knits. Because last year, nobody was wearing anything hand knit, let me tell you. So, I had on my vitamin D, and Kimber is like, "I love your sweater," and she's like petting my sweater, and I'm like, "Oh, Kimber's petting my sweater." You almost have that like, "I'm never gonna wash it again" moment. Yeah. So I did. Total fangirl moment. I was totally just, that was awesome. I don't know if Kimber watches, but Kimber, if you watch, you totally made my day. And I totally, like, I wanted to buy so much stuff in her display. Her display is really cool because you actually, like, walk into it and there's, like, walls of yarn and fiber, and her colors are gorgeous. They're so bold and colorful. But I was trying to be really good. Like, I really, like, went to the fiber show with the intention to buy this if she had it. Because, you know, she doesn't always have all of them. And then maybe one other thing. Like, that was it. I had to limit myself, and it was so hard because there were so many beautiful things. Like, I'm just walking through going, "Oh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that." And so, besides the fiber optic gradient, I got this. I took the tag off because this was actually wrapped around, you'll see, around it. It's from 3X Designs, and they're on Etsy. But I do not see from any of their previous sales that they sell any of what I'm about to show. So it is Firestar Merino, nylon and silk. It's 3.5 ounces, and it is pretty. Look at this. Oh, it's a bat, and I swear, nobody else that I saw at the fiber show had anything like this. I saw some people that had like natural fiber bats, like they were browns and tans, and they were little. And then there's another person that I know who always has some little bats, but they're little, like between like 1 and 2 ounces, maybe a little over 2. And normally if I buy fiber, I want at least 4 ounces. Now all of these bats were 3.5, and I'm like, okay, I think I can make 3.5 work. So it was really hard because there were so many gorgeous. Like, if I could have walked away with, like, 4 different ones, I would have. Because I was really torn. And in the end, I just thought, I don't really have anything quite like this in the colors. So it is red with this gorgeous aqua-ish seafoam green parts, which are obviously, I mean, it'll obviously be more like an art yarn. And see, I took the tag off so I can open it up and show you. Because, you know, the inside's kind of like a surprise. You don't know what's going to be on the inside because of the way it's folded up. So inside, you can see there is some orange streaks, some purple, some greens, a little bit of pink, definitely some orange. I see lots of orange streaks. So it's gorgeous. So, like I said, there were 4 that I was so torn between. And there was one that, like, if you would have saw it, you would have thought of me. It was just like avocado greens and gold yellows and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, it was me in a nutshell. But I'm like, as much as it is me, I'm, you know, trying to expand, you know, what I buy. Because if I could, I'd buy everything green and orange and yellow. So I was like, no, let's try something different. So that's my bat. And it's so pretty and it's so soft and it's amazing. I cannot wait to spin it. That is on the wheel when that loop is done, for sure. And now I'm covered in like Firestar. I'm all sparkly. I have to take the lint roller to myself when I'm done. And then there was a couple other little things that I had gotten that are not for me. I bought them as gifts, and the persons that I bought them for might watch. I don't know for sure. So on the off chance that it could happen, I don't want evidence. So so I did good. So I got my 2 things, which I had limited myself to, which was hard. Because, of course, you know, as soon as I found this, I'm like, the bats, they were all lined up so beautifully and stacked. The display was very nice. And so as soon as I saw this, I had to buy one. Because I didn't remember seeing any last year. And then I specifically went for the other thing. So then I'm looking around going, oh, and I want that, and I want that. But I'm very pleased with what I got. No regrets whatsoever. Whew. So that's it for spinning. That's all my fiber goodness. Into a slice of life. So I guess if you're done with the knitting, I'll see you next week. But if you're sticking around, slice of life. So it was a Memorial Day weekend this past weekend. So I hope all of you had a safe and happy Memorial Day. Come Memorial Day, it rained here. We were stuck in the house, not really able to go outside and enjoy the holiday like we usually do. But today's making up for it because it's like upper 80s and humid as all heck. And let me tell you, I feel like a Q-tip. My hair all frizzy. And so it's so hard because our anniversary was this weekend. And we went out to eat Friday night. So we went to the Olive Garden like I had talked about. And I tried to be good. I really did. I only ate half my entree. Still got sparklies. Sorry. Half my entree. I did have dessert, a full piece of tiramisu, and it was amazing. And I only had 1 breadstick, which was so good of me because the Olive Garden's breadsticks are the best. So, it definitely went over my points for the day. Like, big time. Well, then we get up, and we went to the fiber show, and I was starving. So, there's leftovers. And I'm thinking, okay, if I don't eat them today, when am I going to eat them? Like, really. So, we went, I ate them, but then we went to, like, a family gathering later in the day, and everything was either fried or had mayonnaise in it. And I don't mean, like, a little bit of mayonnaise. I'm, like, talking, like, tons. Like, macaroni salad and potato salad and, like, this broccoli stuff and lots of mayonnaise. And one thing I definitely can't have because it racks up the points ridiculously high is mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is bad. Really bad. So I ate like a little bit of fruit, and that was pretty much it because I couldn't eat anything else there. It was all fried or mayonnaise, and it sucked. It sucked big time. But then we came home and we had a good dinner, and I didn't go over my points, which was good. But then Sunday, you know, my husband's like, oh, you know, let's get something good for dinner. And we had ribs, and I love barbecue. I love things with smoky flavors. I love anything smothered in barbecue sauce, anything cooked on the grill. Yeah, so that was bad. And then, of course, it's Memorial Day. We went and saw over to my sister-in-law's, and I had a steak, and it was delicious. And I had a rough weekend, food-wise. But I still lost 0.7 this week because I've been working out an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. But that also includes my walks. I try to take at least an hour walk a day, and since I have my Fitbit, which I always wear, it's clipped on, I I try to walk fast enough that I do over 3 miles in an hour, because over 3 miles in an hour, like, puts me in a higher activity point level. Because, okay, so for those of you who are not doing Weight Watchers, so you get daily points, and you can also earn what are called activity points. Now, depending on the intensity of your activity, you earn more points. So, if I do an hour of walking at a slow pace, it's only 4 activity points. But if I can do an hour of walking and get in over 3 miles, even if it's a little bit, I've been doing about 3.25 to 3 and a half, almost 3.5 at times, depending on how tired I am. It bumps me up and I get 5 activity points. And you can trade in those activity points for food points. I don't recommend it, but you can. So, like I said, and obviously I'm gonna get a higher calorie burn the faster I go, the more consistently fast I can walk. So I've been trying to do that, plus a workout video. So I've been doing Jillian Michaels Beginner, and it has 2 separate workouts on it. There's a front side, which works abs and stuff, and the back side, which works your butt and your back and all that. So I do the front side one usually on Mondays, and the back side usually on Thursdays, and in between I try to work in different exercise videos, pretty much whatever I feel like that day, which are usually between a half hour and an hour, depending on what I do, plus my hour walk. Yeah, I better kick butt this week, because I've been, I gotta toe the line, because I don't want to plateau. I kind of think I was getting there before, because I was kind of leveling off. So, I just figure I leave in 3 weeks for my trip. So, fingers crossed. I want to lose another 3.5 pounds in the next 3 weeks. Hopefully. I hope. I really, really hope. So, that's really all that's been going on. Between the fiber show and the weekend was so busy. The weekend was just so insanely busy. But I knit everywhere I went, and I still got in my exercise every single day. And in a way, I was kind of like, man, I seriously busted my butt for a week, hardcore, to only lose 0.7. And sometimes then you start thinking, was all that food really worth it? But I did eat a lot this weekend. So, I can't be mad. I'm not mad and I'm not disappointed. It just, sometimes, like, when I think back about it, it really makes me, like, weigh what is really worth it. So, but so far, so good. Can't complain. So, that's it for me. I am Jenna. I am RetroLemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. Okay, a little note about Instagram, because I've been getting some friend invites, and there's, like, no description. Their thing's private. And if I don't know you're a knitter, or I don't know that you're from Ravelry or Plurk or something, I'll probably deny your request, because I was getting all these really strange friend requests from people that I didn't know that had absolutely nothing to do with knitting. Like, one was this teenage girl who took all kinds of selfies and pictures of her and her friends in her bikinis. Like, I don't want to see that. And then there was this one weird guy that he wasn't following knitters, he was following just, like, really random people. But he never posted any pictures, and it was kind of creepy to me, so I blocked him. So, like I said, if you have your thing set on private, and I can't see what you take pictures of, and you have no description, you need to, like, I don't know if you can send a message and let me know who you are, or something. So, if I deny your request, that's the reason why. I'm not being rude. I just was getting a lot of weird friend requests, or people were following me that I'm like, it just was weird. I don't know. Anyways, Ravelry, Plurk, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Weight Watchers, and Fitbit. I had to, like, really think about that. So, until next week, I'll see you then. Bye.